The deportation lie. Why Canada's 20,000 figure hides a much bigger crackdown. Welcome back to Canada Chronicles. Today we're uncovering a story that goes far beyond the number you've been told. The government says 20,000 deportations a year, but the truth reveals something much larger, hidden in backlogs, new rules, and collapsing status protections. This video exposes how the system quietly places far more people at risk than the official figure suggests. Make sure you stay tuned until the very end, because we'll break down the status collapse math they're not showing you, the numbers that connect the dots and reveal the scale no one is talking about. You don't want to miss it. If you're new here, don't forget to hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss updates that could directly affect your future in Canada. Let's get started. The Canadian government highlights a simple figure when asked about deportations: 20,000 removals per year. This number comes from the Border Plan, which gave the Canada Border Services Agency an extra $55 million in funding for fiscal years 2025 to 2027. Officials call it a sign of stronger border enforcement, a 25% increase over recent levels. On the surface, it sounds reasonable, but the truth is more complicated. That number is not a ceiling, nor is it the full measure of how many people could be forced out of Canada. It is only a narrow slice of a much bigger picture. In fiscal year 2023 to 2024, the Canada Border Services Agency reported 16,336 removals, a 59% increase from the year before, and the highest in a decade. Between January and October 2024, the agency removed more than 14,000 people, suggesting the year would finish close to the 20,000 target. Even without new funding, removals surged. With extra resources, the system can surpass the target if political pressure demands it. The gap between the official number and reality is clearer when you look at inflows. The Canada Border Services Agency admits about 24,500 new removal-eligible cases appear every year, mainly from failed refugee claims and inadmissibility rulings. Even if 20,000 people are deported, thousands more are added to the backlog. The pool of removal-ready cases does not shrink, it grows. Immigration, Refugees, and Citizenship Canada reports hundreds of thousands of pending files across study permits, work permits, and permanent residence. Many exceed standard processing times. Global estimates put the backlog across all categories at over 800,000 applications. Each represents a potential cliff. If a permit expires before renewal, the applicant may fall out of status even if they applied on time. The backlog shows that far more than 20,000 people are vulnerable to losing their legal status. The tightening of maintained status adds to this risk. For years, applicants who filed before expiry could keep working or studying until a decision was made. But on May 28, 2025, new guidance changed that. If a first application is refused and the original permit has expired, a second application filed afterward no longer carries maintained status. It must be refused and returned, leaving the applicant out of status immediately. Restoration is possible within 90 days, but no work or study is allowed. This ended the cushion many relied on. Now a single mistake or late filing can instantly end lawful status. Delays in the labor market impact assessment process make things worse. Employers often need an approved LMIA to renew a worker's permit. Processing times jumped from 58 business days in September 2023 to 165 business days in March 2025. Nearly triple the wait. For workers whose permits expire while waiting, the result is a status cliff. Without an approved LMIA, extensions cannot move forward and status can be lost. People have already reported losing the right to work, being cut off from healthcare, and forced into informal jobs. These collapses are invisible in deportation numbers. International students face instability too. Many plan to stay in Canada through the post-graduation work permit program. But in 2025, rules shifted abruptly. On June 25th, the list of eligible fields of study was narrowed. Less than 2 weeks later, on July 4th, the fields were restored, with another update promised in early 2026. Students were left in limbo. Earlier, flag polling at the border was banned for PGWP applicants in 2024. That same year, a new measure allowed many master's students in shorter programs to qualify for a 3-year PGWP. These sudden shifts show how eligibility can change overnight. Combined with backlogs and stricter maintained status rules, Many students risk falling out of status if applications are delayed or returned. At the border, another reality unfolds. Under the Safe Third Country Agreement with the United States, more asylum seekers are being turned back. Between January and August 2025, 3,282 people were returned, compared with 2,481 the year before. These turnbacks are not counted as Canadian deportations, but they are forced removals nonetheless. Once in U.S. custody, many face removal to their home countries or even third countries. This shows how official numbers understate the enforcement landscape. The 20,000 figure is therefore a narrative anchor, not a measure of the full impact. It is a funded target, not a cap. It does not account for those who lose status because of delays, LMIA bottlenecks, PGWP changes, or new rules on maintained status. It does not include turnbacks at the border or those waiting in removal inventory. It does not reflect the cumulative effect of new inflows each year. For workers, this means their future may depend not on performance, but on whether a labor market impact assessment clears in time. For students, it means their plans can collapse with sudden eligibility changes. For families, one person's lost status can spread to spouses and children, cutting off schooling and healthcare. For asylum seekers, it means being turned back at the border and facing removal elsewhere. In every case, the impact is deeper than the official target suggests. Signals in late 2025 reinforce this. The Canada Border Services Agency reports removals at the highest levels in a decade. Immigration, Refugees, and Citizenship Canada continues to refine maintained status. Labor market assessments remain slow. PGWP eligibility is set for another update in 2026. All of this points to more people being pushed into status loss. Another way to see the scale is to look at how cases move from limbo to removal. A person may sit in removal inventory for years while appeals are pending, but once a travel document is issued or an appeal is denied, enforcement can be immediate. Ministerial orders can also revoke status for public interest reasons, leading to sudden removals. The official 20,000 only counts those at the very end. The much larger population upstream remains invisible. The debate should not focus only on deportation counts. The real question is how many people Canada is positioning to lose status and whether the system offers a fair way back. The defining feature of 2025 is the erosion of safety nets. Once, small errors did not mean immediate loss of status. Now they often do. The consequences are harsher and the risks are spreading. Thanks for staying with us this far. We appreciate your time and hope you're finding this information valuable. The status collapse math they're not showing you. Here is where the numbers connect. The government funds the Canada Border Services Agency for 20,000 removals a year. At the same time, the agency estimates 24,500 new people become removal eligible each year. In fiscal year 2023 to 2024, 16,336 people were removed. Between January and October 2024, more than 14,000 were removed. Labor market impact assessment delays have tripled, from 58 days to 165 days. Immigration, Refugees, and Citizenship. Canada's May 2025 guidance makes second applications after expiry invalid. PGWP eligibility lists were narrowed on June 25th and reversed on July 4th. Safe third country turnbacks rose from 2,481 in 2024 to 3,282 in 2025. Now consider what this means. If even a fraction of work permit renewals miss deadlines because of LMIA delays, thousands will lose status. If a slice of graduates are blocked from PGWP eligibility, tens of thousands are affected. If extension applications are refused after expiry, more fall out of legal status. Together, this pool is far larger than 20,000. It could grow into hundreds of thousands over time. The idea of millions at risk is best understood as a cumulative scenario. If these trends continue, the number of people pushed into unauthorized status could eventually surpass 1 million. So what can be done? Individuals must act early and carefully. Workers should push employers to begin LMIA processes months in advance. Students must check the latest PGWP list before applying. Applicants should file complete documents before expiry to avoid rejections. If status is lost, restoration should be pursued quickly. Families must monitor dependents closely. These steps do not eliminate risk, but they reduce it. For the wider public, the solution is awareness. The deportation debate cannot be reduced to a single number. 20,000 is a funded target, not the truth. The real story is shrinking safety nets, rising backlogs, unstable student permits, and long processing times. The crackdown is already larger than the official narrative admits. The numbers make one thing clear. The government's 20,000 deportation figure is just part of the puzzle. Backlogs, stricter maintained status rules, work permit and LMIA delays, and unstable PGWP policies show that far more people are at risk. This is not only about statistics, it is about lives disrupted in a system where protections are disappearing. If you found this breakdown valuable, make sure you're subscribed to Canada Chronicles and have notifications turned on. We'll keep bringing you the latest immigration updates and the hidden details others aren't talking about. Share this video so more people understand what's really happening. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.